Another year, another Forza. It could be so easy to grow weary and exhausted by the sheer amount of Forza titles that have hit the shelves in the past 10 years. One year, Turn 10 brings out a Forza Motorsports title that at its worst, they're usually very, very good. Then the next year, another entry in Playground Games' Forza Horizon series comes and takes us on another vacation with some of the world's hottest cars. The consistency of the Forza 1-2 punch has always been impressive. The problem with always being so consistent, however, is each new game introduced can have a hard time truly separating itself from the rest. Sure, you get the typical improvements and upgrades you'd expect from a sequel, better graphics, more cars, some refinements to existing systems, but overall they can kind of start to feel the same. And Playground Games must have felt that way because the already excellent Forza Horizon 3, with its handful of issues that I personally had with it, have been completely obliterated with Forza Horizon 4. Forza Horizon 4 takes us away from the tropical jungles of Australia and into the rolling green hills and castles of the United Kingdom. Like every other Forza Horizon title, the love they give each game's home country is on full display. The slang, the music, the culture and history are all front and center no matter where you look in Horizon 4. The UK-based team made sure to give their home the treatment such a historic location absolutely deserves. Now, before I can really talk about what Forza Horizon 4 has changed, we should briefly talk about how much they have kept from the old games. The absolutely stunning visuals have once again returned, and this time the PC version performs incredibly right out of the gate. After having several issues with Horizon 3 on PC, I have yet to encounter any of those technical hiccups with 4. On the Xbox X, they offer you a nice 4K 30 FPS quality mode that is locked, or the very welcome 60 FPS performance mode at 1080p. Even on the base Xbox One, the game is rocking steady and holds true no matter what's happening on screen. The physics system that the Forza franchise is known for also returns, with several improvements that have carried over from Motorsport 7. The feel of every single car is handled to perfection. The tuning allows you to control how much simulation versus arcade feel you want to go for, and all the assists have returned, and those have not changed much, but they also didn't really need to. And the much hyped seasonal approach to the open world is much more than just marketing hype. Each season in the game is truly unique. Beyond the visual differences, each new season brings its own set of challenges and handling models to challenge players of all skill levels. New locations open up, and old ones fade away. Even races, events, and barn finds will change, with some of those open world events only appearing in a specific season. The seasons also tie into the career mode's progression and is part of the reason the game has improved so much from Horizon 3. Overall, the polish is second to none. The audio, visual, and controls all work seamlessly together to truly immerse you in the Horizon experience, just as well as they have always done in the past. And now that we have gotten some of that out of the way, let's talk about what's new. Previous Horizon games, despite their excellence, always had a couple of things truly keeping them from perfection in my eyes. For me, it was the career progression and the online integration. One of the biggest new additions to Horizon 4 is the career progression has been completely revamped top to bottom. The way each Horizon game worked previously was that you would have to compete in various events strewn around the open world in an effort to gather enough fans to expand the Horizon festivals. Each time you upgraded a festival site, another tier of events, open world challenges, and showcase events would populate the surrounding areas, and then you rinse and repeat until you get to the end of the game and compete in the Horizon Championship Series. The problem with that format was the progression started to not feel very satisfying. Gathering enough fans and expanding the Horizon sites felt inevitable. but never truly fun in the moment. The way the game never really forced you to try different vehicles or encourage multiple playstyles would eventually make progressing through the festival races more of a chore than a fun task. The games have always had a ton of content, but just never a clear direction for said content. Cross-country races, street races, speed traps, bucket list, everything coexisted, but there is no clear motivation for wanting to pursue any of these different styles outside of your own desire to perform that activity at any given time. On its own, the old method wasn't broken or even bad by any means, but by Horizon 3, that formula was growing stale, and it was something nagging at me the entire time I spent in Horizon 3, and it ultimately kept me from caring too much about any of the festival sites or events that I unlocked. Horizon 4 finally upends the old career system on its head, and it's one of the biggest changes the series has seen since its inception. The new progression system doesn't exist in a vacuum anymore. The brand new seasonal approach to the open world and the completely revamped online integration all combine to transform the minute-to-minute Forza Horizon career experience. Previously, the online multiplayer existed in a parallel world to the offline single-player content. They both had meaningful things to do, but the game never really provided a good solution to making the online and the career mode mesh together well at all. This time, Forza goes in the direction of the always online, always connected play space. Once you complete the first in-game year of racing events, you are then invited to join the Horizon roster, and then you are thrust headfirst into a seamless, always connected online world. Each server you play on is capable of supporting 70 plus players, and everything in the world is synced for all of the players present across all of Forza Horizon 4. Every season, weather transition, time of day, even the traffic are in lockstep, which goes a long way to bridging the gap between the online and offline world. They don't stop there, however. Before you can protest being forced to be online to play, Playground Games does what so many other developers don't. If at any time you don't want to be online, or you lose your online connection, the game will transition to an offline mode without any loads or disconnects. Real-life drivers will get replaced with the tried and true drivatars, and your experience works as it would in any of the previous Horizon games. With a couple of button taps, you can even go back online and you are connected just as seamlessly as you were disconnected. They even went as far as to think about how players control or be abusive by making it so that all cars in the open world become ghosts unless you join up and form a convoy. This new connected experience goes a long way to completely changing the Forza moment-to-moment gameplay on a fundamental level. Every step of your way now during your career, the festival finally feels like a festival. Players are always around, doing their own thing, hanging out near barn finds, taking massive jumps, and the Rocket League-style quick chat system they have implemented keeps it civil and very easy to communicate with anybody around you. If you find a player you like, a quick tap of the D-pad will allow you to either challenge them head-to-head or invite them into your convoy, which is a new term they use for co-op play. Returning from Horizon 3 is the co-op, as now it allows for up to 6 players to connect, and you can play through the entire career mode together. Every single open world event or race you can partake in is back from the older games, and joining them is the new job system. You can be a taxi driver or a stuntman and compete in multiple chapters for each job. The job system is a much welcome feature and sort of replaces the old bucket list challenges that were just dumped in the open world seemingly at random. But even these scripted jobs can also be completed with up to 5 of your friends. The entire experience is connected, and despite the team play, your own career will always progress in meaningful ways. The old XP system has been replaced by influence, and as your influence grows, you will level up and unlock various wheel spins and skill points. And another extremely smart change, Each individual car has its own skill tree to spend those points on. Previously, players had a general account-wide skill tree. That skill tree was always very easy to fill out well before you come close to finishing the career mode. With the new system, you will always have a reason to level up and always have something meaningful to put your points into. It's also another way to get you invested in a car, and it doubles as a method to encourage the player to find a new car, a new discipline, and make them try something new that they might not have otherwise. All of these different gameplay elements all combine to change how you play, progress, and interact with the content they have. Forzathons, adventures, festival upgrades are all seamlessly connected and woven together in a massive connected experience. It's the biggest single change they have ever concocted, and it eradicates the only real issues I had with the older Horizon games. As I look back on my time with the game, I am having a very, very hard time picking out any flaws or problems I had with it. The only thing I would probably like to see is some integration of a streaming music service like Spotify, but even the in-game radio stations provide excellent variety and they are mixed to perfection within the game itself. One of the other new additions that supplement the new career system are the drivers themselves. Now you can choose from one of several pre-made characters and completely customize your look and apparel, even down to dances and emotes your driver will perform during the load transitions and the before and after scenes of races. Some of these emotes and dances can 100% be silly, but they never detract from the experience and add just a bit of personal flavor that goes a long way to keeping the game from feeling stale. You can even purchase homes, and these homes range from small villages to Edinburgh Castle itself. They provide a few meaningful perks, and they all act as a hub for all of your car upgrades and character customization. I have spent just as much time trying to find a problem with Forza Horizon 4 as I have playing it, and I honestly just can't. I haven't sat and played this much of any racing game since one of my all-time favorites, Burnout Paradise, and that changed the racing scene more than a decade ago, and every minute I am not playing Forza Horizon 4, I just want to dive back in and do more things. Forza Horizon 4 is easily the best game in the franchise by a mile, and it's the first 10 I have ever given to any game. Absolutely do not miss it. Forza Horizon 4 is one of the best games I have ever played. 10 out of 10. Make sure to check out the full written review at rectifygaming.com. I am Namtox. I hope you enjoyed, and check out more content across all of our social media channels. Have a good one, everybody.